to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets hit by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hooters.
All right, welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got you just for a half hour. It's the Jayson Tatum Welcome Back Show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, the flagship station of the Boston Celtics, who will take on Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks tonight. And it is the return of Jayson Tatum off of his torn Achilles surgery, and he's back. And we got you until then at 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well. And our opening take presented by Super Service Today. When your heat or hot water goes out, waiting isn't an option. Super Service Today's warehouse in Danvers is overstocked with water heaters, furnaces, boilers, and heat pumps, and they offer same-day replacement. Whatever it takes, day or night, and always done right. Contact superservicetoday.com. Well, I'll give you the news that just came out from Joe Mazzulla just within the last hour. Joe Mazzulla said Jayson Tatum will start tonight. It's the first time, I think, that that Joe Mazzulla has ever really answered a question. He even said, don't ever say I don't do anything nice for you guys. So Jayson Tatum will start tonight. He'll get the Eddie Palladino intro. That should be interesting. Maybe he'll be part of the Part 5 documentary, all that stuff. So if you're heading into the game tonight, get there early. Jayson Tatum will be introduced tonight in the starting lineup from Eddie Palladino, so you don't want to miss that. But Jayson Tatum, the season, right? If you think about it, the Celtics season this year could have been a tank job. They could have just said, we're selling off pieces. We want to get under the luxury tax, maybe develop a couple of guys. That could have been the season. And it was all about getting under the luxury tax. I will say that. This year, all about the money, all about getting under, and I wasn't happy with that at the beginning of the season. I thought they gave away a championship run. Tanking, not having a season was something I didn't want to do. But it seems like it's also something that Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla didn't want to do. Instead, when Jayson Tatum went down in the playoffs, that was it. They ended up winning a game to show some fight, but it was a gentleman's sweep, and that was it. This whole entire offseason, it's been about no Jayson Tatum this year. What will the Celtics do? But the one thing about Jayson Tatum that I do want to give him credit for, it's fine if you think it was stupid about the documentary. It's okay if you think he's boring or you have Jayson Tatum fatigue or we're celebrating something where, it's standard now. That's fine. You're okay to have that opinion. But Jayson Tatum did make it his mission to work hard and come back. And Jaylen Brown had a chance to check all his boxes this year. He was number one, of course, when it came to that. But for the most part, the Celtics could have tanked, and they didn't. And that's what I want to give them credit for. Absolutely want to give them credit for that. But in the middle of that, a little bit of a news dump. Why don't we do some breaking news while we're at it, Skaz?
This is Breaking Sports News, powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Well, NFL free agency will be beginning soon, and, they want to get into the mix, too. The Patriots trading center Garrett Bradbury to the Bears gives the Bears a new center. The deal, of course, can't officially be processed until league year begins, but the Patriots are trading center Garrett Bradbury. Initial thought, Bradbury was fine here. He signed a 2-year contract. There's thoughts about maybe moving Jared Wilson to center. They have Ben Brown that they extended in the offseason. And the Bears obviously just lost their center. So they get a guy for Caleb Williams. Someone that can be the stopgap for whatever next guy they draft. Garrett Bradbury was a good Patriot. He did a fine job. I think some people thought he was washed. He was not by any means. But the Patriots have moved on now from a piece of their offensive line. We're already talking about Will Campbell, and, now it's already, I guess, understood that Jared Wilson's moving over. I do like Ben Brown personally. I also think center is a position where you can get in the draft and find a starter. Patriots did it with Damian Woody years ago. There's got Dan Copen they found late. So Garrett Bradbury sent to the Bears. We'll find out what the compensation was. I don't think we see anything on that yet. But we'll get back to the Tatum stuff. Tatum walking in today. A little bit of a news dump in between. Patriots have made a trade. They're moving on from Garrett Bradbury, which maybe I'm a little surprised about. Bradbury, of course, solid. I just didn't remember him screwing up much. So normally when it comes to guys like that, I enjoy them. Maybe they do need a little bit more push up front, and they do want to get younger. And maybe they've already identified a guard, or even moving, Will Campbell to guard. Today I saw, was it Decker got released from the Lions. They just had the big tackle there who used to play for the Browns, Wilkes, in there. So maybe they are looking at another tackle. But Garrett Bradbury moving on to the Bears. Once I get the compensation, I will certainly let you guys know. Just getting back to Jayson Tatum. Made his mission this year to work and come back. Jaylen Brown was a number 1 overall. Right? I didn't see them as one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. We saw changes from Joe Mazzulla. He made adjustments all year long. They continue to develop players like Baylor Shireman, Keita, Walsh, Gonzalez, etc. There's 20 games to go here. They're the 2 seed in the East. Tatum's coming back. They're under the luxury tax, and they have a chance for a championship run. I do think the Celtics should get credit for not tanking. They could have done that. It could have been a pass. We all would have went along with it. But it's not being treated that way. It's not. And I was driving around today, and there was a man with a smile on his face because Jayson Tatum is back. But it was frowned upon. It's a little hard to understand. I personally am going to enjoy it, but I do think at least we should look at what the Celtics have done this year as a positive. Jayson Tatum coming back can be the bump for another playoff run. I didn't expect playoffs this year. I thought this wasn't going to be a Celtics. I was worried. I was telling Scaz, man, if the Bruins stink and the Celtics stink, woof. I didn't even know what the Patriots were going to be this year. So as far as the ratings go, I was worried about it. Now, you're getting Jayson Tatum, and maybe it all was, thought out and planned. Of course, it was cinema, right? He's coming back tonight in a home game. I think Jayson Tatum is, at least when it comes to American basketball, outside of Steph Curry, is the face of the game. Maybe that's hyperbole on my part, but I believe it. And I think him playing tonight against Cooper Flagg, the number 1 pick in the draft, who is from Bangor, Maine, will be also coming back on a minutes restriction tonight. 2 Duke players making their return. Top picks from Duke. Maybe it was all planned out this way, but if you're going to the game tonight, you're going to get your Jayson Tatum shirts, your 0 days shirts. You're going to see the number 1 pick in the draft, Cooper Flagg. Celtics, of course, are coming off that loss from the other night. It should be green goo everywhere tonight at the Garden. It should be a fun one. There it is, guys. Oh, yeah. I want my T-shirt. Did you see those T-shirts on the chairs? Get one for Skaz. Get one for me. Maybe even Big Jim Murray might want one too. He'll give it to his cat. We'll react to the Garrett Bradbury trade and what the compensation was for that. And Jayson Tatum makes his return from Achilles surgery, and it's against the Dallas Mavericks tonight. We got the call right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub with Grandy and Max. We'll hand things over to them coming up in just about 15 minutes, and then we'll be with you guys halftime and post-game tonight. I know we got Jake Seymour there. I think Alex Barth is covering the game tonight, so we'll have live coverage there, and who knows who we'll talk to in post-game tonight. We'll take a quick break. We'll get caught up on everything that's happening with the Patriots and Jayson Tatum coming back tonight. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Tatum, dogged by Holiday across half court. Switches to the left hand. He's going to attack the paint. Tried to go in for the dunk. It's going to fall in. Scored in the foul. And Jayson Tatum's dream of a fourth quarter continues. And Celtic fans around the world saying, don't wake me up.
Sam, a ham. I will eat that damn ham, Sam.
What a night, everybody. Celebrated. Come on. Oh, but Jayson Tatum's a distraction. The distraction is gonna be distraction. I'm over it. It's over. I don't want to hear it anymore. Jayson Tatum, a distraction. Come on. One of the best players in the league. Best players in the league is coming back. And it could be a distraction. It could be a chemistry issue. It's all about him. Come on. Come on. Well, if you're going to the game tonight, have fun. I want a t-shirt. Somebody doesn't like the fact, Skaz, that I said Jayson Tatum's the face of the NBA behind Curry. I did say that. American face, just to be clear on that. Mr. Papa Giorgio, who actually is the man who is the guy in the... Am I wrong? Outside of Steph Curry, is Jayson Tatum the American face of the league?
I think he's certainly one of the faces of the league. He was on the 2K cover, highest selling jersey a couple of years. Yeah, I think that's fair to call him a face of the league.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, well, thank you for validating me, Skaz, because Mr. Nick Papa Giorgio on Twitter thinks I'm... See, what is up with the hate tonight?
More of a Papagenos guy myself.
I love Papa Gino, the Papa Platter, man. You ever had one of those? Comes with breadsticks and raviolis. By the way, Skaz, we're having a pizza party here. I brought wings. I got pizza. Thanks to our friends at Folsom Eddie's in Waltham. I made a call, and I said, hey. And they said, hey, is this for the Jayson Tatum party? And I said, it is. And then they were trying to give me some party hats, but I said Felger wasn't here, so they decided not to give me the party hats. But, Skaz, Jayson Tatum's back tonight. You got any thoughts? I'm ready for the Eddie Palladino from Duke,
yes.
number 0.
I hope Eddie's on the Bigelow routine. I hope Eddie's well rested. I think that's going to be one of the more anticipated announcements of his career. It's exciting for Eddie, exciting for Celtics fans. Yeah, Joe, he's back. This is great for the Celtics. This is great for the NBA. Anytime you add a premier top, 5 to 10 player in the league, we'll see what he looks like tonight. But yeah, it's a good night for the Celtics, a good night for the league, and you get Cooper Flagg coming to town too. So a little, double dose of some good NBA action. Flagg coming back from injury himself. So yeah, it should be a good one at the Garden tonight.
What are we thinking? How many minutes, points? I'll pull up the DraftKings points in a second here.
The rumor or the reporting, whatever you want to call it, around Tatum's minutes, it's going to be around 20 is what I've seen, or around 20 minutes. So I think you'll see him start, and then at some point he will get a solo substitution.
To get a standing ovation.
Yeah, I would imagine they do that. He usually would come on with the second unit or stay on with the second unit, in previous years. So we'll see what that rotation's like. I wouldn't imagine that's going to be his role, right away. You want a real sports radio topic? 2 to 6 is going to love this one, Joe. But why not throw some fuel on the fire? Because we are nothing but fair at night.
Fair,
contrary to popular belief.
Factual.
But I got a text from a buddy today saying, here's one for you, basically. Who gets announced last going forward the rest of the season at home? In years past, it has been Jayson Tatum. I think tonight it will be Jayson Tatum. But does that matter to you, Joe? And do you have any thoughts on it?
I don't care. No.
Do they care?
I think it might mean something for some of the players. But I think no, I don't care. I'll give you the answer that it's probably going to be Jayson Tatum, and it probably will be Jayson Tatum all year. But it has been Jaylen Brown, right?
Yes. I think they go back to Jaylen after tonight. No, but I don't care.
Yeah, do it for tonight. Go back to Jaylen.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the schedule too, do you think Tatum's going to play in back? I know they have off days, but do you think he's going to play every other day?
I don't know. That's something I'm certainly interested in. They don't have a ton of back-to-backs left. I think they may only have 2, if I was looking at the schedule correctly. But, yeah, I mean, their next couple games are on the road, so it'll be interesting when they come back to Boston for that that Golden State game.
I should plug that the Green Teamers, Skaz and Jake Seymour, did the show last night, and of course, after you guys were doing the show, the news broke about the him. Well, today it was probable. Last night it was questionable.
We did 2 shows yesterday. Yes,
so
back to back.
The last one. He said, "All right, here we go." Just talking about Cooper Flag. Do you think it might have been manufactured that they both played tonight? Like this was the idea. Hey, Dallas. Like Cooper Flag is one of the biggest recruits ever out of New England.
I think you're giving the Celtics and Jayson Tatum and the NBA and the Dallas Mavericks, and it's the same Dallas Mavericks that traded Luka Doncic away. I think you're giving them far too much credit if you think they had this circled. I think as it got closer, sure, I can buy into that. Like if we're 2 weeks away and they decided, okay, this is the date we're going to pin down. Yeah, they're perfectly fine. Yes, you could convince me of that. Eventually they had to nail down a date. So this Friday, I think makes sense before they go on one of their tougher stretches of the year. But I don't think when Tatum went down with the injury a week later, they were like, this is the day he's coming back.
What's the starting lineup tonight?
It's got to be White.
Has it been announced yet?
Brown, no, I would imagine we're about 4 minutes away from that. I would go White, Brown, Tatum.
Look it up real quick. While you're doing that, I didn't mean to cut you off. We do have the return on Garrett Bradbury, which is a news dump tonight, everybody. While Skaz looks up the starting 5. Garrett Bradbury goes to the Bears for a 5th-round pick in 2027. Seems low. Well, they get out of the money. Seems low. For a guy who started 17 games to the Super Bowl? We got to monitor that one, Skaz. What if he does retire? Like, there could be that on the line for Garrett Brown. We'll do that postgame or another day. But I just saw the return for Garrett. It seems light to me. In 2027, a 5th-round pick?
So does that mean Jared Wilson is going to move to center?
So I think Ben Brown has a chance to be a starter. The other thing, Skaz, is dude, maybe you can rest in peace Nick Mangold, but I like guys like that. Could you draft a guy at 31 to be a center and start right away? Absolutely. Could you get a guy in the 2nd round and start at center? You can. Maybe Jared Wilson is more of a center than a guard. That might be the case, but I would say it's going to be Ben Brown, Jared Wilson, and you go get another lineman. But just seems a little light to me, though. Unless they were going to cut him. Anyways, what do we have for a lineup tonight? I don't know if you saw anything out
no
there.
official lineup yet, but I would imagine White, Brown, Tatum, Keita, and take your pick, Shireman, Hauser.
Shireman out or Hauser out? Because one of them is going to have to be ready to come off the bench,
I would imagine Hauser starts. That would be my guess. We'll find out very shortly.
All right, we will. Because you know why? We're going to hand things over to Grandy and Max, who are on the call tonight, the best in the business. Don't call it a gap year. How many times have I heard Sean Grandy say that this year? He's right. It wasn't a gap year for Jaylen Brown. It wasn't a gap year for Brad Stevens. It wasn't a gap year for Joe Mazzulla. And you know what? It certainly wasn't a gap year for Jayson Tatum, who worked hard to get back to playing meaningful basketball games, and it should be celebrated tonight, and it will be.